signs of dyslexia every teacher should know. What we are going to see right now are different signs that we can see in different students, and we are going to see if they have these signs, they may suffer from dyslexia. I have divided this part of the presentation into 3 different parts. What we are going to see is what teachers can see in students that are at preschool years, what students can have at primary school years, and what students can have at secondary school years. So let's start with preschool years. What we can see is that students may have difficulties in learning and remembering the names of the letters in the alphabet. They have inability to recognize letters in their own names. They can have delayed language and vocabulary development. Sometimes they have difficulty in reciting days of the week sequentially in order. They can have some mispronunciation of familiar words. And sometimes they don't recognize rhythm patterns such as cat, bat, rat, for example. And they get very frustrated when they have to color, paste, or cut with scissors. So what happens when students are in primary school? What we can see is that students have difficulty linking letters to sounds. They have letter reversals, as we said before. They get confused. They confuse B instead of D, or the other way around. And sometimes they make inversions, U and N, for example. They have difficulty in reading some words. They get frustrated when they have to complete reading tasks. They have problems with math symbols. Sometimes they confuse signs of operation. They have problems in understanding time concepts. They may have difficulty in learning spelling strategies such as affixes, for example. They have poor oral reading and they lack of fluency. They have a lack of fluency. They have struggled to find specific words, and they tend to use vague words, vague terms such as stuff, thing, place, people. They make pauses, they hesitate a lot, they use hums when speaking a lot. Sometimes they get confused with words that sound alike, such as tornado for volcano or lotion for ocean. Generally, they need extra time to respond to questions. And they express themselves very good orally, but not in writing. So what happens in secondary school? What we can observe is that students that may suffer from dyslexia, they have poor spelling. They don't like writing tasks. Yes, they tend to avoid reading assignments and writing assignments too. They have some troubles when they have to summarize texts. Their work speed is very slow. Sometimes they have problems with organizing work. They have difficulty with performing in classes that have reading and writing demands. And of course, they have difficulty in learning a foreign language. And that's why we are here today. So, what we need to know is that apart from identifying some signs of dyslexia, there are some tools that may help us determine the student's risk level for reading difficulty. There are different tests. You can find many tests in the web, but I have decided to share with you today 2 that are recognized and recommended by the International Dyslexia Association. This is the one that it is recommended for school-age children, and it is called the Colorado Learning Disability Questionnaire. In this case, there are 6 different statements. For example, the number 1 says has difficulty with spelling. Number 2 has had difficulty learning letter names, has had difficulty learning phonics. 4 reads slowly. 5 reads below grade level. And 6 requires extra help in school because of problems in reading and spelling. So the teacher needs to answer each of them according to never, rarely, sometimes, frequently, and always. And at the very end, the teacher is going to obtain a result. And if the student obtains less than 16 points, there is little in the child's developmental history that he or she is at risk for a reading difficulty. If the student obtains between 16 to 21 points, this person has moderate risk. It means that there are features of the child's developmental history that may be consistent with a reading difficulty. If the student has more than 21, there is significant risk. So there are several features of the child's developmental features that are consistent with a reading difficulty. So the teacher needs to suggest a special therapy. So this is another tool that we can use with adults or with teens sometimes. And in this case, it is a self-assessment tool. So this is a questionnaire of 10 different questions, and we need to answer with yes. And the number of yes answers will give us the result. If we check 7 or more yes, this may indicate dyslexia, and we need to seek consultation from a specialist. So this is another tool that we can implement. As I said before, there are different tools. These are the ones that are recommended by the International Dyslexia Association.